I do want to go back to the shear tracker here. Now that this has updated, we've got a few more scans in to see if the shear has increased at all. And we'll punch this up for you. This is the latest shear product. And look, is there some light shear in there? You know, certainly I'm not seeing anything that's jumping off the page. You know, when we were tracking stuff a couple days ago that was on the ground, we start getting into this orange, into this maroon color. That's when it looks like stuff is on the ground. Not seeing indications of that here at this very moment, but still in the Cameron area. That is where we have broad rotation and bare minimum strong winds which are coming in. So from Hoyt, so here's where 77 comes up, meets 190. So 190 from Hoyt over to Cameron, you have strong winds and broad rotation, which is moving over your area. And then next up, it's going to be this spot. It's going to be Maysfield. So if you're in Maysfield, make sure you are taking your tornado precautions as well as you have this strong storm, which is moving directly towards your area. So there it is. And just like that, this does look like it's maybe tightened up a little bit more. Okay, so
County.
Just got confirmation there. Thank you for that, Grace. Tornado on the ground here in Milam County. So here in a moment, we're going to have a confirmed tornado, which is going to turn the tornado warning polygon likely purple. Was that in the National Weather Service chat?
It's in, yeah, the Fort Worth chat.
Okay, so make sure you are.
One of their sheriff's officers reported reports of tornado on the ground. That's FM 1600 there. FM
1600. So if that is the area where you live in the general vicinity of Cameron, there's a tornado which is on the ground. This is we've got spotters who have confirmed this. So make sure you are taking your tornado precautions right now. This warning, it goes through 12:45 for Milam County. Here, and we'll punch up the numbers so that you can see this one more time. So there it is. It's now a confirmed tornado on the ground in the general vicinity of Cameron. So, Grace, you keep an eye on the National Weather Service chat. Just jump in if you see anything else there. So the reason our polygon turned purple, it's because this is confirmed. So this is a new thing that we're doing. This is kind of like what we were dealing with in Burnett back a couple days ago. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Spotters have seen this in the general vicinity of the Cameron area. So let's go back in and look, we got that confirmation right as we were starting to see, that velocity couplet tighten up some. So let's go back in and we will inspect what the velocity in this storm is looking like. So there it is, and that's a relatively tight couplet right there. Let's zoom in closer, and what we can do is try to go in like almost street level here. It's coming in just on the south side of the Cameron area. So this is 190, here's 77. This radar image is a minute or two old, so this is probably already lifted through this area. Crossing over 190, crossing over 77, we have a confirmed tornado on the ground. So make sure if you're anywhere in the vicinity of Cameron, especially on the east side of town, that you are taking your tornado precautions right now. That's an interior room, but as many walls between the outside and yourself as possible. Let's see if our shear product has updated. This thing normally does a good job of catching up. So there it is. I think it's got it spot on. This is where the possible tornado is going to be crossing over 190. Let's go in even closer as this is about to be crossing over the highway. And here is a closer look at it. You can see where 190 is located. This is Ledbetter Park, and then Cameron's up here. So this is coming in now on the east and northeast side of the Cameron area. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground now in Milam County. So make sure you are taking this seriously and make sure you are taking your tornado precautions. I do want to do another storm track. So we got to back out. This storm is flying. It's moving. And there's the Marlowe School. So that's another landmark for you. This tornado is going at about 40 miles per hour. Maysfield, Branchville, these are the areas where you need to be prepared to take your tornado precautions too. In fact, go ahead and do that right now, just out of respect for this storm, which again, spotters have now seen. This is confirmed to be on the ground. So I'm going to do kind of a broad line here. So not everybody that pops up here is going to be experiencing a tornado, but some areas could. Man, this thing is just going so fast. Yeah, we're going to have to back out the view even more. These times are probably a little bit slow, but taking it into Maysfield and Branchville and the Marvin area right now with this tornado, which is now confirmed with spotters on the ground, moving through the Cameron area now just on the south and southeast side of town. And if it doesn't change track and if it doesn't weaken Maysfield, you're going to be the next spot that's going to be impacted by this. Here's the latest from the National Weather Service. So this is the Fort Worth office, which covers Milam County and the Cameron area. Circulation has increased just southeast of Cameron. Storm continues moving to the northeast at 40 miles per hour. Then going back to some of these reports from earlier, it was some of the emergency officials there from the Killeen area. They were citing the Milam County Sheriff's Office reports of a tornado on the ground at FM 1600. So that is where it was spotted in the vicinity of Cameron, and that was back 6 minutes ago. So now it was on the southeast side of Cameron. Now this is quickly approaching Maysfield. In fact, it looks like we got a new scan here. So let's see how the velocity is shaping up here. So here is the new update. Wow. So look, this is. If you live in Maysfield, you need to stop what you're doing now. You need to take shelter. You have a confirmed tornado, which is on the ground. It's quickly moving directly towards town. This has been spotted by Sheriff's Office officials here. And look, this is a velocity couplet that, just to be honest with you, has ramped up. This is a concerning velocity signature. This is exactly the part of the storm which is rotating right here. So these are strong rotating winds which are coming right into Maysfield right now. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground. If anything, I think the circulation maybe has intensified some. So if you live in Maysfield, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do. We need to lowest level of your floor. If you have a basement, that's an amazing place to be. I know a lot of folks here in Texas, you don't have one. Move to an interior room on the lowest level of your floor. And look, if you're in Maysfield, I know this sounds silly and this is not to scare anybody, but if you have a bicycle helmet, if you have a baseball helmet, anything you can put on your head to protect your head, do that. Go into an interior bathroom, interior closet. This thing's moving at 40 miles per hour. Wait 25 minutes, this thing will move through and we'll be all right. But just make sure your lowest level, interior room, cover your head if you have a way to do that easily. And if you know anybody driving, we don't want anybody driving in the Maysfield area. I know it's lunchtime hour, folks are trying to grab stuff to eat, run errands and do stuff, but this is a situation where it's, this is an intense storm, which is coming into the Maysfield area imminently.
County Road 227 and 228 east of Cameron is where they are saying a tornado is likely.
Okay, thank you for that. So new update, tornado likely near County Road 227 and County Road 228 east of Cameron. So it's between Cameron and Maysfield now. And as I said earlier, if it doesn't weaken, if the track doesn't change, this is going to come into Maysfield. So make sure you are taking your tornado precautions right now in the Maysfield area. This shear tracker product has been doing a really good job of identifying where the storm is rotating most significantly. So there it is. You can see it. It's now emerged on the east side of Cameron and is heading into the Maysfield area. We'll zoom in a little bit closer here and we'll inspect this kind of street level view.
Wind tracker has a good view. Wind tracker coming in at 70, 80 mile per hour winds.
You guys can we go back to the Weather Center real quick, Grace? That's a pretty remarkable shot there. She's got the wind tracker pulled up. Walk them through that, Grace. Yeah,
so our wind tracker, this is kind of another element that we can look to see where that rotation is, and it is really tightening up, of course, as we've been tracking the past few minutes. So anywhere from 70, 58 miles per hour or above, that's what we could consider a damaging wind gust. So we see that. We also see 70 plus, and then in the middle here we see 80 plus miles per hour. So this is going to potentially cause significant damage as it moves up towards the north and east here. Again, this is moving very fast, again at 40 miles per hour up towards the northeast, up towards the Maysfield area. So please be aware of this. Tracking just to the east here of 77 and east of Cameron, again, kind of crossing this river here just to the south and west of Maysfield here. So yeah, considerable wind that we're tracking here on this tornado that has been confirmed on the ground. Back to you, Hunter.
Yeah, that wind tracker really does a good job of showing where those strong winds are coming in. So as we mentioned, this is a confirmed tornado. It is on the ground and it is between now Cameron and the Maysfield area, and it is going to, if it doesn't change path, it's going to be very close to moving directly into Maysfield. So make sure you're taking your tornado precautions there real quick. I want to give you kind of a reset, what's going on area wide. This rain has really kind of let up over the I-35 corridor. This stuff is not severe from Dripping Springs back to Blanco. These storms over eastern Travis, eastern Williamson are intense, but this is where we have the confirmed tornado, which is over the Milam County area. So we'll zoom back into our storm, which is on approach now to the Maysfield area. And as Grace was showing you, this has very intense winds, which are about to be coming in. So here's another way of looking at that same kind of wind tracker product. Let's punch up some of these numbers here. And that's going to be, look at that, 83 mile per hour winds. That's wind. Wow. So, we've got, some gate-to-gate shear here, which is approaching 100 miles per hour or so. So that is going to be the area to watch for this tornado, which, as we mentioned, has been spotted by county sheriff's officials there. Again, this light yellow shading here, that's where the rotation is detected. It passed through just on the south and southeast side of Cameron, and now it's going to be very close to Maysfield and especially on the southern side of town where we are tracking that rotation right now. Latest update from National Weather Service in Fort Worth. The tight circulation is near just south of Maysfield, continues to move northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So Maysfield, stay hunkered down. After that, moving at 40, it's not going to take long. This pretty quickly is going to cross out of Milam County, and it will cross out of our KVUE area. As I mentioned, as this moment, it is the only tornado warned storm that we have. Let's go back to that wind tracker product that Grace was looking at. Yeah, so there it is. With these strong winds coming in on the south and southeast side of Maysfield, Branchville, we want you to be sheltered right now as well, and then Marvin. So Branchville, Marvin, Maysfield, these are the closest areas where we have these strong winds. And that pink, again, you can see on the scale, these are radar estimates, but that is 80+ mile per hour winds that are going to be possible in the vicinity of this tornado. And this is where we've got the rotation, which is coming in on the south and southeast side of Maysfield. So Maysfield, Marvin, Branchville, and then on the north side of Hanover, make sure you are sheltered as well. Then back behind it, this is not a tornadic circulation, but there are some more strong winds which are coming in to the Cameron area as well. Okay, so with that, we'll get you back to the velocity product. So there it is, as you can see, just on the south side of Maysfield. This is the circulation heading right towards Branchfield. So Maysfield, stay hunkered down with us for the next little while. The circulation has passed you in Cameron. So Cameron, your tornado threat from this particular circulation has ended. Still, we need to keep an eye on things through the rest of the day today. But Cameron, the storm has passed you. Maysfield, stay hunkered down for another 5-10 minutes. Branchville, give us another 10 to 20 minutes as this circulation is going to be moving through your neck of the woods. Another thing that we can look at here, let's go over to the debris tracker, and hopefully, I hope we don't see anything here.
Just extended over the county line there further.
Okay, so we just got a new warning. So with these confirmed situations, sometimes they will extend out ahead of time. So we'll back out the view and show you that. Milam County obviously is the most northeastern county in our KVUE area, but you can see out of respect for this, they went ahead towards the Hearn and the Franklin area. They've extended this warning with this tornado. Last reports of it, it was on the ground. The sheriff's office officials there have seen it. So the National Weather Service, they were just talking about the downstream tornado warning going into Robertson County in the next couple of minutes. So that has now been issued. The spot where this was located, so two reports, tornado likely near County Road 227 and County Road 228 east of Cameron. And then the initial spotting was Milam County Sheriff's Office reporting a tornado on the ground near FM 1600. So those were the reports that have now confirmed this tornado, which is why it's a purple polygon. It's heading into Maysfield right now, and those are the areas where we want you to be sheltered immediately. All right, so there is our circulation. We'll zoom back into it. So there it is coming in on the south, just barely on the south side of Maysfield. This is the circulation. Branchville, you're next up. Again, guys, Maysfield, Branchville, give us the next 10, 20 minutes of your life, and let's just stay sheltered here. Interior room, put as many walls between the outside and yourself as possible, and we'll be all right. We'll just let this thing blow through, but make sure you take your tornado precautions right now out of respect for this storm. Again, there is spotter confirmation that this thing, at least at times, has been down on the ground. I think the circulation still looks plenty impressive here just on the south side of Maysfield. So this is the part of the storm that is rotating. Grace has been showing you that wind tracker, which did a really good job of pinpointing where those strong winds are. So, I mean, that's it. This essentially could be the tornado down in there. So let's zoom in. And you can see the legend on the top of your screen. So right near the Maysfield School, hopefully everybody's hunkered down. If you're watching us at the Maysfield School, Stay hunkered down, tornado precautions, whatever y'all do at the school, keep doing that for the next 10 to 15 minutes at least and let this thing pass through. So the yellow, that's 40-mile-an-hour winds. The orange, 58, which is the designation for severe. Red is 70 plus, so then you start to get into like destructive winds, and then we've got a pixel here showing potential for 80 plus mile per hour winds, and this could be the exact vicinity of where the tornado is. And it's going to be heading towards Branchville right now. So this is Maysfield. Let's measure it out. It is just barely south. So from the direct center, so my little drawing thing did not work there. You know, it's only a matter of miles right now south of Maysfield. So the next update that we get on the radar here, it's going to be coming in very close to Branchville. Another way to visualize how this is ramped up, these are the shear tracks with this storm. So this is going to take a second to load in, but you're going to be able to see the evolution of this storm where it initially crossed south of Cameron, and then it intensified a little bit, it looks like, on approach to Maysfield. So there we are. This is the track the storm has followed. It came in just on the south side of Cameron. Again, this light yellow, this is the history of shear, the history of the rotation in this storm. It ramped up just on the south and southeast side of Cameron. It intensified a little bit more. Now it's coming in just on the south side of Maysfield, and next up it's going to be very close to that Branchville area. Hanover, just depending on where you live, your phone might be going off from this warning because you're very close to it. The circulation, though, is to the north. So this is the exact track that it has been following. And then, by the way, they just issued an update here. There is some hail with this storm, too. Obviously, the biggest concern is the tornado part of this storm, but there is some hail. I'll just quickly show you what the hail tracker is doing so you can see it. That looks like, you know, quarter-size hail, maybe a little bit smaller than that, heading into Maysfield. But primarily, this is a tornado threat that we need to watch. So here's the current shear. This area right in here, let's go back to the velocity. Okay, so there it is. Looks like maybe it's broadened out a little bit. I hope so. And this is about to clear out of Milam County. So here in the next couple of minutes, this will get out of our KVUE area and we'll return you just to regular programming. But here just for the next little bit, let's stay hunkered down with this storm. Again, we'll show you the history of it. So if you go back, step through this step by step. So this was back at 12:18. You can see it came through. That was it. That was the circulation on the south side of Cameron. Then it ramped up a little bit. So this looked really impressive. This was 12:20. This is likely, again, this is when it was spotted. So the tornado, I think, was definitely on the ground at that point. So that was 12:20. Let's go forward another 5 minutes. So into 25. And then you move into now. This thing is flying north at 40, and here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, this will be out of Milam County. And once this moves out of Milam County, we'll return you to your regular programming, and we'll just continue with our coverage online on KVUE Plus. We'll continue to cover this all day long, but stay hunkered down here. This is another look at the warning, which they are now starting to issue downstream. So we'll punch up the. So there's the radar image. You can see the storm. This is the confirmed warning, a downstream warning out of our KVUE area, which is not yet confirmed. And these are the stats on the alert. This warning is going to take us through 12:45, so another 15 minutes. But this thing is going to be out of Milam County prior to the next 15 minutes. So out of respect for the storm, stay hunkered down a little bit longer. And then this thing will move out. And this is the only tornado warned storm that we have in our area right now. Again, we want to just give you kind of the big picture view. The stuff which is moving through closer to the Austin area right now, we could certainly have some flooding issues, but the heaviest rain has moved out of the areas that have seen the most. This stuff, we're going to have to keep an eye on it. It's not severe. Little cells like that. This has my attention. We're going to have to watch this. So this air down here, Lee County, Fayette County, Bastrop County, Caldwell County, while it was a little bit cooler in the Austin area, not the case here. It's 70s and low 80s, so there is some instability. There is some thunderstorm fuel down in those spots. And just to give you a little bit more of the bigger picture, you can see, again, it's 83 in Luling, it's 80 in LaGrange, it's 80 in Lockhart, and then it's much cooler, rain-cooled. But this warmer air, the storms here, I think, could be able to tap into some more of that instability. And that's why, as you go east of I-35, these are the areas that have the enhanced risk for severe weather. So this is the latest day one storm outlook. So still places like Bastrop and Lee County and Fayette County that maybe haven't seen a whole lot just yet. Still, the severe threat is going to continue over the next couple of hours. And I do want to show you the breakdown just with the tornado threat. The hatched area, we see the hatched area for hail a lot. the hatched area for tornado risk, not an everyday thing that we experience here, but this means that there's potential for a strong tornado or two. And what do we mean by a strong tornado? We mean an EF2 or higher. So tornadoes that could have winds, 115 miles per hour or in excess of that. I'm not saying there's going to be a tornado like that everywhere, but look, that potential is going to be there today. And as we have seen a number of tornado warnings already over Milam County. This most recent one that we've been covering has been a confirmed tornado.
Some of our tornado watch has been canceled.
Okay, can we go over to Grace real quick? And Grace, you can walk folks through what is going on with the watch as this threat starts to shift east. They'll trim some of our areas out.
Yeah, so they are going to trim some of our areas out here. Just got to load up our tornado watch. So actually, they have clipped out some of these counties here. Clipped out Llano, also Burnett, Blanco, Gillespie, and then Kendall, Texas as well. So you see those furthermost western counties. Those have now been clipped out of the tornado watch for today. So you don't have to worry too much about ongoing severe threats as we head into our Tuesday afternoon. But this is still ongoing, and they've continued it for areas like Williamson County, including Travis County too, all along the I-35 corridor. And of course, our easternmost counties out towards the coastal plains are also still under that tornado watch. And that's still going to go, I believe, until 4 p.m. today. That update from the National Weather Service. Yes, still until 4 p.m. this afternoon. And then after 4 p.m., things will expire from there. Our tornado watch here in the studio just hasn't really updated quite yet. So Burnett, Blanco, again, Gillespie County and Llano County, you guys are all trimmed out of the tornado watch for the rest of the day and shouldn't be, anticipating a lot more active weather as we head into this evening. Most of you guys will be kind of good to go as we shift into the next couple of hours here. But again, we're still watching torrential downpours up towards that north and east area of our viewing region. And of course, we still have the rest of that tornado warning out towards Milam County. The whole of Milam County underneath a severe thunderstorm warning as well right now, and that's going to continue for a little while longer too. So yeah, we'll toss it back to Hunter if you got any updates here for our tornado warning. However, the National Weather Service has said that, congruent to us, we're starting to see things kind of weaken up here as it moves across the river from Branchville over to the Hearn region.
Yeah, thank you for that, Grace. Yeah, so they're saying area of rotation east of Branchville, north of County Road 263. So north of County Road 263 and 485, approaching the river now. Okay, in fact, we just got a new update. So the circulation now has moved out of our area now. So this has moved out of Milam County. So this kind of zone in here, I'll show you. This is kind of still the vicinity of the storm, heading towards Calvert. This is not as organized as it was when it appeared the tornado was on the ground between Cameron and Maysfield, but this is the area that's rotating. So I'm going to hold on for one more radar scan just to get this fully out of Milam County, and then we can plan. We'll just go back to regular programming, and then Grace and I will be here. We'll be covering things on KVUE Plus if we have anything else through the rest of this afternoon. So Cameron, Maysfield, your tornado threat has ended. The tornado was down on the ground for a while, so look, we'll try to get in touch with folks out there. We'll see if we have any damage. Hopefully it was not impacting any homes or any areas where people were located, but it does appear that tornado was down for at least a period of time. The storm generally has weakened. These are still strong straight line winds on approach to Calvert, but it is now basically crossing over the river. So we're going to wait just one more radar scan, and then we'll be able to get you back to regular programming here. Just to give you another update on kind of the big picture, as Grace was saying, we're starting to see some areas that are getting trimmed out of the watch as the severe weather threat, it's unfolding. We thought it might be an active day, and it has been for many spots, but across the hill country, again, these areas, your severe threat has ended. For the Austin area, I would say maybe winding down, but we're just going to have to keep an eye on how some of this activity develops. In fact, it does look like there's another severe thunderstorm warning down south of the San Antonio area. So let's switch over to the broader view real quick just to see what's going on across the rest of the state. You can see our tornado watch, which extends down to the Houston area. I actually think the severe threat's probably going to ramp up even more as you get into southeast Texas and parts of east Texas. But look, we still have some severe weather down to our south and southwest. So I think as we go through the rest of this afternoon, it's mainly going to shift east of I-35 into Caldwell, Bastrop, Lee, Fayette counties. But still, let's be on guard for a little while longer. They didn't trim Travis out of the watch, right? It's still in it?
No, Travis still in it. I-35 corridor still in it.
So still
watch.
Along and then east of I-35. Let's remain vigilant as we go through the rest of this afternoon. Okay, so let's check in with our storm one more time. And at this point, this is moving. It's crossed the river, and this has moved out of Milam County, and the storm has also weakened some, which is excellent news. But for a period of time, that was a pretty intense storm there, and it looks like it was on the ground at least for a period of time. Okay, so back up here. So the storm, here's the latest on the Doppler winds. So this is approaching Calvert, and then the Franklin area. It's going to go north of Hearn. Okay, so with that, what we can do is we will drop off of KVUE, and Grace and I will continue to provide weather updates all through the afternoon on KVUE Plus. But this warning, it is going to drop off here in the next 5 minutes, but the storm has already moved out of Milam County. The tornado threat for now in Milam County has ended. You are still under tornado watch, so I can't necessarily rule out more storms later on today, but the immediate tornado threat has ended as this storm is now moving east of our area towards Franklin. So we will get you back to regular programming. As I mentioned, if you want more weather coverage, we'll be on KVUE Plus all afternoon long. Y'all stay safe.